Good morning everyone, it's Bank Holiday Monday here in the UK and it's Andrew from Top Golf Chigwell with my question and answer session. So I've just picked the first 5 questions that come my way and the first one we've got here is from the Jazzy Golfer, well worth a follow. We were getting asked about swing, so here we've got one straight away to help you rotate. So a lot of golfers are told that they should turn their shoulders and get this shoulder round to 90 degrees. Now, although that's a pretty general term, it's a pretty good measure I find, but I still know some golfers that can hit the ball equally well just short here. But when we talk about turn, often we see, and if I've said it in the past, turn your shoulders, we see these arms going very much around and low, a bit like a baseball player would. So we've got to blend, and this is where I think golf gets difficult, this twist of our body, and I don't think it's just our shoulders, I think it's our hips and our rib cage, and get the arms up nice and high. So first little drill I would do is get some swings maybe in a mirror where you can get this arm nice and high. Jazzy was suffering from some low arm positions here whilst trying to twist. Again, let's use the reflective surface here, making sure we do all our twisting here as we swing and making sure my arms are above my shoulder level. So reflections are really one of the simplest ways to do it. When you're out on the golf course, it's going to be quite difficult to see because you're not going to have that reflective surface. So what I use is I'm going to start my swing in front and I'm literally going to just keep my arms nice and relaxed and I'm going to throw that club back to the top of the backswing. So I'm going to start in front, I'm not going to hit a ball, and I'm just going to throw that club back. And I find the momentum of just me starting in front and throwing the club back will get my left arm and my right arm into a good position while still turning. So there's a couple of things there to help out. Anyone who's struggling with the twist of the body and the hips need to turn as well, and their arms. So question number 2, someone asked me very nicely, Mr. Barker here, if he's good enough to be a pro. Now I think we've just seen a brilliant exercise in how good the golfers are out there on the TV. Alex Noren really smashing it yesterday with a 62 at Wentworth to come from miles back to win. I think you've got to realise it's a lot of hard work to become a pro, and they are really, really good. And great opportunity this year in the UK to go and watch the Open, where I'll be coaching as well, and you'll see how good they are and how difficult it is. They're really dedicated, they put hours of practice in, they're extremely talented, and unfortunately we can't all be golf pros, but we can all get better. All right? There is also an opportunity to be a pro here at Top Golf this year in the Top Golf Tour, where you can actually win a trip to Vegas if you're good enough, and potentially £50,000 prize. So check out Top Golf Tour on Google if you fancy your chances at being a golf pro, because you know what, there's a great starting point for you and a nice pot of gold at the end if you can do it. So question 3, Jason Faulkner has asked me about putting. So putting from 6 to 8 feet in particular, he's asked, and how is there a simple drill I can get the putter going where I want it to go and hold more putts. So dead simple, the first thing with this range putts is to realise that the tour average for hold putts from between 6 and 10 feet, if we pick the middle of that, 8 feet, is just about 50%. So you should be holding 50% of your putts from that range. And a lot of golfers expect to hold a lot more than that. So setting your expectation levels is really, really important to start with. You shouldn't be holding them all. And don't beat yourself up if you do. They miss much shorter putts than that. Jason Day missed a much shorter putt than that last week. Cost him some money and the tournament win, but he understands no one's perfect. Right? He's got as good a mental game as anyone. So all I would suggest is you get something straight, Jason, and you start putting, almost put 2 of these clubs down as a channel, and you try and putt through the channel, because if you can get the ball starting on the right line at 6 to 10 feet, there's not going to be too much break most of the time. You will therefore find the golf ball going in. One I use a lot with the juniors and new players, but it can be used for experienced players, is if you've got like a strip of wood that's relatively thin, or a ruler, a really long ruler that's relatively thin, start the ball at one end and just try and putt the ball across that. And again, it's training your club face to be square at impact, which is key to starting the ball on line when you get to putting. So I hope that helps the putting. It's an important part of the game, but remember, only 50% of those putts should be going in. Okay, question 4, we've got, is there a big difference between ball flights, and the particular ball flights in the question is between a block and a hook? So the first thing to realise is there's not a massive difference in the golf swing, but there could be one or two things that are going to change to create the block, which is a straight shot out to the right, and a hook, which is one that might curl much more to the left. And the first thing to realise is the club is still travelling out to the right in both shots. So I'm not over the top and left, I'm swinging literally too much into out and out to the right of the target, if you will, to 1 o'clock out that way to the target. But the face of the golf club is what makes the ball curl quite a lot. So in my block, the face of the club will point to the right, and in my hook, the face of the club will point to the left. So there's not a massive difference, but the face control will change where that ball flight goes. And straight right, again, the club's travelling to the right, and the face is pointing there, and if I get the club travelling out to the right with the face turning left, I'm going to have that hook. So have a look at some face control drills. I talk about club face a lot. Club face is king is one of my favourite sayings. So just keep an eye on that when you're practicing, and even setting yourself a challenge of, right, I want to hit this one to the right on purpose. I want to hit this one curly left on purpose. And then that third ball in the exercise, trying to meet the middle of the feeling and trying to hit it straight. The last thing that it could be is strike, and I'm going to do a video separate on that this week. Strike is so important to the golfer, and as I say, I'm not going to go too much into that, but keep an eye on my channel on Instagram, it should only be a short one, for strike and what difference it happens where we hit the ball on different parts of the face. And the last question is a rules question, which I am not an expert on in any means, but we had a controversial ruling where Branden Grace this week in a bunker wiggled his feet in, which I recommend doing in a bunker for better stability and to help you catch the sand that little bit before the ball. He wiggled his feet in so much that he reached the base of the bunker, the rubber lining, and that is actually deemed then he doesn't have to play it. Now you could argue he doesn't have to wiggle his feet in very much, he doesn't have to wiggle his feet in a lot, but the rules officials know much more about the rules than me, and they gave him a drop, and it was very fortunate. And he you know, he didn't make par, but he certainly made a good score on that hole, and probably a better score than he would. There's been lots of instances of this over the years, of knowing the rules and using them to your advantage. So I think we've got to put it in that locker, and the rules officials are in charge. They know what to do, despite all the players on the tour sort of having a little bit of a question about it. I think we've got to go with them, and for now they are the rule keepers of the game. So they made the right decision for them. Whether it was the right decision overall, we'll soon see. So hopefully you've got something there to help your game, a little bit of knowledge on the golf swing, a little bit of knowledge on golf rules, knowing the rules to you and using them to your advantage, and maybe some of the stuff it takes to be a golf pro there. Great stuff. I want to do another one of these in a few weeks' time. So if you've got any other questions around golf swing, golf, rules, anything to do with the game, I'm looking to help as many people as I can. It's one of my passions, alright? So get your questions in, and it's the first 5 again that I get. We'll get into the next set of question and answers, and then we'll do another one after, assuming it's all nice and popular. Have a great bank holiday, and I hope the sun comes out, because we've got a bit of a cloudy day, and get working on that golf swing. And if you want any help, check out my channel for some more help and tips to help you play better golf. Thanks a lot, guys.